Welcome everybody to week 2 of the LLL, the Little Legends League, the Ubers UU Draft League that has been going on. It's week 2, like I said, it's Pool B this time, and we're diving in straight to the matches. And yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna start the first game. It's Riposte versus Yormas, in a match where we can excellently see the devastation that Deoxys can bring upon a team. It was just a matter of time before Deoxys tore down the walls and just went in. It was some kind of mixed Deoxys set, I believe, with flash cannon and such. It was a very creative offensive set. It's the thing that Deoxys does a lot, just devastate teams. Yormas excellently played with Quagsire's ability, Water Absorb, to tank the hit from the Pelifin. Pelifin was a huge threat as well, but he played around it correctly. He brought the mons in that needed to be in at the correct time. For example, Cinderace as well played excellently. Cinderace, of course, with the crit burning on the Screamtail once, which was hilarious. You suck to get it sucks to get that hex against you, but it worked out in Yormas' favor. And like I said, Deoxys just cleaned the game. I believe he got like 10 million kills. It was a devastating one to go up against this week, and sometimes you just have a matchup where there aren't a lot of teams that actually take hits comfortably with Deoxys, and yeah, this is just one of those games where Deoxys went in. It's a win for Yormas and ends in a 4-0. Next up, it's Dino trying to break down Butters' walls, but yeah, Elo, Giratina, Magearna. If you balance those out perfectly, if you switch around accordingly, because there were a few mons that could actually break this. I mean, Entei, Roaring Moon, and Enamorous were huge threats to go up against them. Look at this Moonblast, for example, into the Alo. Huge hit. And sometimes you thought, okay, Dino's gonna play around this. Butter had to play on his feet, of course, but I feel like Butter was in a comfortable position most of the time to actually play around it. He brought some kind of disgusting Giratina set, some very bulky set, and the moment it showed Roar, I feel like the game was already done. It was the fact that it was Roar, yeah, kind of messed him up. Like I said, Enamorous, huge threat this week, just a huge threat. It did a lot of things, did a lot of things good, I might add. It was a very excellent threat this match, but it wasn't enough to break down Butter, and Butter picking up 2 wins in a row, and now with a 3-0 victory after Staraptor cleaned up late game. And a match that was very, it was very interesting beforehand, but the match itself was just great as well. That early game Dialga with the skill shot in the Ice Beam, that was devastating. Bro, that was devastating. Palkia here getting the crit on Spatial Rend. I know a bit of a head. Yeah, look at that. Damn! I thought it was over, but it wasn't, It wasn't. Dialga showing why it is such an expensive mon. A very good mon with that. It did an excellent job breaking down the team. It was a very fun match to watch as well, because there was a bit of a stalemate between Petrarund and the Umbreon. Umbreon really showed up this week. It was a very cool mon. The Terra Poison set worked wonders. I feel like if Primarina got Toxic in this game, Kaim would have won. I know it's bold to say, because at the end, Great Tusk had 100% of its health left. And again, Great Tusk, great game. It's a good mon, but it really showed, damn, it is one of those top dogs, Moissanite really played well in this match, but I gotta give props to Kain for utilizing Umbreon to its fullest potential. Weavile on paper had a very good matchup, but the rocks chipping down at it every turn just hurt so much, bro. It hurt so much. And I feel like if you were to replay this match like a million times, Kain would have ended up on top in a lot of those scenarios with that Weavile. Potentially the Terra fight on Petrarund, really good bring by the way, Terra fighting, would have stopped that, but it was a really neck-on-neck match, and even though the result says it's a 3-0 for Mozo, I feel like it could have gone either way, like the correct Toxics on the right time and such, but don't want to take that away from Mozo. Mozo played excellently. Like I said, the Dialga early game was amazing. The fact that Great Tusk didn't even have to risk a single % this game. The pre-arena set, kind of disgusting, but kind of very, very clever. So yeah, that's a 3-0, and that was a very fun match to watch. And now we go to the 4th match, which somebody forgot to send me a replay, so I don't have replay, but I do have the stats. So yeah, I'm gonna do the thing I love doing the most. I'm gonna put up a show, so I hope you guys enjoy. Hello Brits, I'm fellow Brits, I'm Wi-Fi. I have Doggy here. Doggy, use Fire Fang. Oi, mate. Yeah, that's my British accent. Hi, I'm Evelic Simp. I have Dargapult. Dargapult, use Dragon Pulse. Oh, I won. Yay. Yeah, guys, that's why you should send me links, because I'm not good at this play. It was apparently a 1-0 win to Evlog in a game where Zacian and the Dragapult got 3 kills. That's pretty much all I can say about it. Don't know a lot about it. So next time just send me the replays, okay? Because that was the worst kind of British accent that I've ever done, so... So now we're heading over to Game of the Week, because the other game wasn't played between Swordless Board and I Like to Eat Crayons. Don't know what happens to that match, but whatever. We're focusing on Dumpy Lump versus 7th God for the moment, the game of the week. So yeah, let's just dive into the matchup. So Dumpy Lump and the badly drawn Chi-Yu gang is hitting the field with 10 mons just before the trade. It's the Rillaboom, Sneasler, Chi-Yu, Garchomp, Azu, Volcarona, PZ, Oricorio Cheerleader, Slacking, and Sudowoodo. On 7th God side, on the other hand, is a Mewtwo, Excadrill, T-Tar, Conkeldurr, Araquanid, Sinistcha, Rotom Heat, Farigiraf, Noivern, Comfey, and the best mon in existence, Arbok. There are some very standout mons on the field right now, and the thing that stands out the most is grassy terrain versus sand, which is kind of atypical. I feel like in that kind of matchup, grassy terrain is usually a little bit better, and especially if you look at Sneasler. Sneasler is a giant threat, because once the Unburden pops with the grassy terrain, there's not a lot I can switch in. That's a very good mon this match. I just want to highlight that. So it could be a 6-0 based on a Sneasler alone. Rillaboom on itself has a very good matchup. Yeah, sure, there's a Rotom and a Noivern and such, but you have U-turn, so if you play around it correctly, Rilla can go in, bro. Rilla can go in. Chi-Yu as well. It's one of those mons that, of course, it loses hard to T-Tar, you know, that's a hard wall, but for example, a Mewtwo, an Excadrill, Rotom Heat, those are mons that, you know, don't have the biggest defense when compared to a Chi-Yu. So something like a Scarf Chi-Yu can actually be a very good backup. It can clean up a late game if it needs to. An Azu, very excellent mon to tank ground hits if it needs to, from the Excadrill, for example. So a bulky Azu can really work out excellently this match. 7th God, on the other hand, I feel like it has a little bit less of a good matchup. It's not a bad matchup per se, but versus grass terrain is gonna be rough. But one thing, yeah, it's kind of obvious, but Mewtwo is fucking incredible this match. Look at the amount of mons it can switch into a Mewtwo. There aren't any. Perhaps an AV Azu or something, but there's nothing that can actually comfortably can get switched in versus that Mewtwo. Actually, nothing. So Mewtwo clicks buttons. Something like a T-Wave Rotom Heat, for example, or Webs or whatever. If you chip down the speed of the mons, for example, or if you make sure that Rillaboom with the priority is gone, Mewtwo can actually clean, my dudes. It can clean. And with that being said, Sand isn't actually that bad of a matchup. Excadrill can actually do a lot of work. The Rocky Helmet Rough Skin thinking on Garchomp is kind of annoying, but it can still do a lot of work. But it all depends. Like, I feel like if Rillaboom gets eliminated on the right time, 7th God can actually clean, but it's very dependent on that Rillaboom. Rillaboom is gonna be a key player, so Rilla, you have to show up, you have to be... well, it was the first pick in general of this draft, like the first drift, the first pick and the entire thing, so it kind of has to prove that it's worth the first pick, you know? And yeah, without being said, I'm just gonna jump in, so let's go. So we are leading off with that Garchomp versus Mewtwo. Garchomp for perhaps going for the hazards, but they don't get a chance. That's just a dead Garchomp. Mewtwo with excellent coverage always. Azu showing that it's AV, possibly the Mewtwo switch in. But Noivern able to get that momentum, actually doing a very excellent job. Rotom coming in. Rotom being chipped down isn't actually the worst thing for Dumpy Lump. Yeah, that's actually a Thunder Wave. We saw that coming, and it was an excellent bring. Protect, potentially, for stalling out the terrain. So I feel like I'm seeing a lot of good things about 7th God's brings. But now Noivern is getting chipped down very much. So, Azu getting the kill. Noivern being gone isn't the worst thing in the world, per se. But I still see a Rillaboom at 100%, so that's kind of, you know, you don't want to see that. Aqua Jet on the Rotom Heat, weakening that Rillaboom answer, so I feel like Rilla is going to get put into position where it can actually sweep the hell out of it. 7th God, going into the Rilla, oh yeah, that's not a Rilla answer, sorry. I want to say Rilla answer, but it's not a Rilla answer anymore, and at this point, Arbok is Arbok, unironically, is looking like the best answer to that Rillaboom. But now, that's 50% from a Mewtwo on that Rillaboom. It's almost a dead Mewtwo, and if they go for Grassy Glide here, it's a dead Mewtwo. But that's a way to get rid of a Rillaboom, so potentially you can go into Arbok, chip it down that way. But it's going to get down to the wire, you know. Another Protect Mom for that Grassy Glide, and it's very important. Is this Grassy Terrain going to get stalled out? Is Rillaboom going to get put in the position? It isn't. Rilla picks up that Mewtwo, and I feel like at this point, Dumpy wins this. Because I don't know what the other ones do. I don't think they can stop a Sneasler. I think Rilla should just get out in time. But yeah, Dumpy Lump makes a decision I wouldn't have made. It's not a bad decision at all. And that's a dead Convey, and that's worth as well. But I was watching this and I thought, oh, that's not what I would have done. But that's actually a dominant play as well. Perhaps there's another way to trigger Sneasler's Unburden. Perhaps it isn't even Unburden, it's just a Poison Touch set, I don't know. But Sneasler is going for that Dire Claw into the Arbok. Arbok is gonna tank that comfortably. Doing it again. Actually going for the Para. So Arbok is putting in work. Getting a kill. So everybody, that's the highlight. Arbok is getting a kill. And strangely enough, Arbok can actually win this match. It doesn't do a lot versus Oricorio, but but it can para Volcarona. So Volcarona coming out, perhaps getting parried. Going for the Quiver Dance in the face of a Glaremob. Strangely enough, 7th can actually win here. So Oricorio kind of has to rely on Hurricanes, and if they don't hit, that's gonna suck. But Arbok can actually play out this match, if it is possible, going for the Quiver Dance in the face of an Arbok. Arbok doing quite a lot of damage, but damn, that's rough. That's so rough. I feel like this is the moment where, yeah, all hope dies for 7th God. Even though there's a para right there, but it has to get a para right here as well, and it doesn't. You know, that's devastating. It sucks losing this way, because, like I said in the beginning, I felt like this match was already going to Dumpy Lump based on matchup, ever so slightly, but yeah, perhaps 7th God felt this way as well. But the fact that you get a chance to be put back into this game, yeah, and losing Arbok that way, that's devastating. And I know I'm just talking over the gameplay in the background. I know Volcarona can still lose, based on paras, but you have to get very lucky, and very lucky against that Oricorio as well. And luck didn't plan out the match in 7th God's favor. It's Dumpylump that's getting on top. And Dumpylump played a very excellent beginning of the game, just very offensively. Even just turn 1 sucked. A Sash Garchomp probably would have been better in that role, but from that point on, Dumpy had that game in the bag. And I felt like giving Arbok a little bit of an opportunity to cook could have been the end. The paras on Volcarona could have been the end, and that's just... Sometimes you hope that the Hex God bless you, but it doesn't happen, and it sucks, you know. It's a very fun way to actually get back into the match. For example, if Arbok did get lucky, that would have been the game of the year. Like, Arbok getting 3 kills, winning the match for 7, that would have been amazing. But it doesn't plan out that way. And Rilla just showing how powerful it can be. Volcarona muscling through a para on the right moments. That's a win for Dumpylump. And that's actually very cool for Dumpylump, seeing as Dumpy lost week 1, like 6-0 or something like that. So that's a comeback right there. Yeah, I'm gonna gloss over the standings real quick. They aren't really correctly updated, so yeah, I don't know why Kine is in the middle right there. Kine should be at like 10. It's not in playoffs. And like I said, I like to eat crayons, and Sword is bored and didn't play their match, so take that into consideration as well. But at this point, Mozo, Butter, I like to eat crayons, Wi-Fi, 7th, Avalok Semper, Posty, Dumpylump. I think they are in playoffs right now. And Kine, Uramas, Sword is bored, and Dino aren't. Yeah, I think that's the case. Just it's a mess right now, so don't pay attention to it too much. But I owe you guys one more thing, and that's the mod of the week, the goated mod of the week. And it might be an oddball, because a lot of people would probably say Deoxys from Uramas, or people would say the Dialga on Mozo Knight's end. But I'm actually going to give it to Umbreon. Yeah, I know Umbreon didn't win a match, but the fact that Umbreon made it so difficult for Mozo Knight to muscle through that mid-game, I feel like it really showed up. It's a very difficult mon to break through, and it was an excellent display of Terra Poison Umbreon as well. So I just want to highlight that mon. Why not? Why not highlight a losing mon for once? So yeah, that's the highlighted mons, and with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up this video, and I will see you guys in the recap for Pool C that's going up on Sunday. So yeah, peace guys.